Hello, welcome. I'm Tom Copeland. I'm an attorney, author, trainer, and advocate for the business of family childcare. In this video, we're going to talk about the top 3 record-keeping tips for family childcare providers. Now, do you love record-keeping? Yeah, probably not. Most providers do not love record-keeping, but this video will talk about the top 3 record-keeping tips that will make the biggest difference in reducing your taxes. There are many different record-keeping things you're supposed to do, but you want to focus to make sure you're doing these 3 things. What are they? Well, first, save receipts for all your house expenses. Second, keep a daily record of all the meals and snacks that you're serving to the children in your care. And lastly, track all the hours you're working in your home. Okay, first, you're entitled to deduct all ordinary and necessary expenses for your family childcare business. Ordinary and necessary means typical, helpful, appropriate, useful, common in your business. Now, your job is providing a home learning environment for children. Parents expect you to maintain your home as a home. That means that virtually any expense to clean, repair, and maintain your home as a home is probably going to be considered ordinary and necessary that you can deduct. What are we talking about? Property tax, mortgage interest, rent, utilities, gas, oil, electric, garbage, water, sewer, cable TV, solar panels, house insurance, house repairs, furniture, appliances, equipment, everything outside your home, lawnmower, rake, garden hose, wheelbarrow, paying somebody to plow your driveway, paying somebody to mow your lawn, household cleaning supplies, light bulbs, toilet paper, detergent, soap, and so on. Tools, garbage bags, rugs, virtually everything. It's probably easier to think about those things that you cannot deduct. Personal things such as your clothing, your hairspray, your motorcycle, the bed that kids don't sleep on. All right? Now, you want to save all these receipts, everything associated with your house. Put them in one place. Put them in a folder, put them in a bag, put them somewhere. Don't worry when you're buying something to look at the receipt and think to yourself, well, is it deductible or not? Should I save the receipt? No. Get into the habit of just saving receipts for everything. Throw all the receipts into one place. At the end of the year, you can sort out what's deductible and what's not. Most providers pay too much in tax because they didn't save the receipts because they didn't realize that some of those things were deductible. If you have all the receipts, you're in a much better position at the end of the year to figure out what you can deduct. Second tip, you want a daily record showing which child ate which meal and snack each day. We want to have a record that says Sally on Monday got a breakfast, a morning snack, lunch, afternoon snack, whatever. That's the record we need. We want to count all the meals and snacks that you're reimbursed by the food program, as well as all meals and snacks that you're not reimbursed by the food program. All of them. Now, we want to say something about the food program. You always want to be on the food program. Why? Because you're always better off financially. Reimbursements for the food program are taxable income, with the exception of reimbursements for your own children. Those are not taxable. Any food that your own children eat, not a deduction. Any food that you eat at home is also not a deduction. Now, do you want to win the lottery? Of course. You're going to report how much you won on the lottery in your tax return, and you're going to pay some taxes on that. But after you pay the taxes, you'll still have money left over in your pocket. That's the food program. Yes, you will pay a little bit more in taxes after joining the food program because your income's going up. That's okay. You're paying a little extra in taxes, but you have more money left over afterwards. And if somebody says, or you're thinking, well, all this work for the food program, the paperwork and filling out the forms, no, you're going to be well rewarded. You're going to earn more per hour doing food program paperwork than you're earning per hour caring for children. So you always want to be on the food program. You always want to stay on the food program. Now, there's no magic about how you track all these meals and snacks. You're on the food program, that monthly claim form makes it easy because that is the record you need to show how many different meals and snacks you got reimbursed for. So save your copy of that monthly claim form. You could use a software program such as KidCare, which allows you to track all this online. If you're using KidCare, you got to enter a snack or a meal that has a nutritious component to it. And for more information, you can go to kidcare.com and check it out. You could just track these meals and snacks on a piece of paper, use a spreadsheet. There's no magic. But I want to stress the importance of an extra afternoon snack, a snack that you're not getting reimbursed for. One snack a day for one child for a year is equal to a $200 deduction. Multiply $200 by all the number of kids that you're serving an extra snack for. This is a lot of money. This is a big deal record-keeping wise. Now, to claim meals and snacks, most providers use what's called a standard meal allowance method. If you use this method, you don't need to save any food receipts. That's a big relief. No food receipts. You don't have to worry about it. Instead, you need to add up all the meals and snacks you serve. That's why it's so important to track them. And you're going to multiply it by an annual standard meal allowance rate. You can find this rate by contacting a local food program sponsor or your sponsor, or your local child care resource and referral agency. To use this method, you're entitled to deduct up to 1 breakfast, 1 lunch, 1 supper, and 3 snacks per day per child. The meals or snacks that you serve that are not reimbursed by the food program do not have to be nutritious. So, let's say you're on the food program. You serve breakfast, morning snack, lunch. You get reimbursed for that. Great. But now you serve, let's say, an afternoon snack. Well, what is that snack? Popsicle? Donut? Cupcake? Apple? It doesn't matter. You're entitled to deduct it. You don't need a receipt. You don't need a menu. You don't need a recipe. You don't need to write down what the snack was. You're just recording snack. I'm not telling you to serve junk food. I'm just saying whatever you serve counts. One provider said, as the kids left at the end of the day and they're walking out the door, she passed out a cracker. 1 cracker, 2 crackers, 3 crackers, 4 crackers. She's able to make money passing out crackers because the cost of the cracker is a lot less than what she's able to deduct for that snack. So this is a big deal, tracking these extra non-reimbursed snacks. All right, third tip, track the hours you're working. First, track all the hours you're working in your home when kids are there. Next, we also can count all the hours that kids are not in the home, but you're still in the home doing some kind of business activity. So let's explain. Hours kids are present. You want to know all these hours. The more hours you're working, the lower your taxes. So let's just say you're caring for kids 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's 11 hours a day. That's the average number of hours that providers care for children each day. That represents 33% of the year. Now, you want to track the moment the first child arrives until the last child leaves. Not what your operating hours are, not what your contract says. When are kids actually there? And the time that I would pay most attention to is pickup. So We want to know when the last parent walks out with their child, not when they sign out. So pickup time is, let's say, 5. The last parent shows up at, let's say, 5, but starts talking to you. Maybe they sign out, but they're still talking, hanging out. You're outside on the porch, you're outside on the lawn. They're still there. Maybe they don't leave until 5:30. So you want to record 5:30. Now, if it's every day, an extra 30 minutes, that represents 1.5% of the year. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but we're going to use this as part of a formula to determine how much of all these thousands of dollars of house expenses you can deduct. And 1.5% times thousands of dollars adds up. It's worth tracking. Hours children are not present. This is the big deal. This is probably the most important thing I want to say as part of this video. You're entitled to track all these hours when kids are not there and you're in the home. Cleaning, meal preparation, meal planning, activity preparation, record keeping, food program paperwork, time on the internet, parent interviews, phone calls, listening to me now. You can count this time, assuming you're in your home and kids are not there. So when you're done listening to me, take out a calendar someplace and write down how much time you spent listening to this video. You got to be in your home. So if you're traveling away from your home, going to the library, going to a training class away from your home, that time doesn't count. You got to be in your home. How do we track it? I would strongly recommend that you pick 2 months each year and carefully record on a calendar somewhere all the activities that you're doing. So let's say kids arrive at 6, but from 5:30 to 6 in the morning you're cleaning. So you'd write down Monday, 5:30 to 6, cleaning. Tuesday, 5:30 to 6, cleaning. Wednesday, 5:30 to 6, cleaning, and so on. Cleaning after the kids leave, doing record keeping, some curriculum work, something on Saturday, whatever. You can use the Kid Care software for this. Then, after doing this carefully for 2 months, you want to use an average of those 2 months. So, if you work 40 hours 1 month and 46 hours another month, carefully, the average is 43 hours. And if you can say that the rest of the year you spent roughly the same amount of time as those 2 months, you could use 43 hours for the entire year, each month. This, again, is the single most important thing you can do to reduce your taxes. 2 months, every year, every year. If you want to do more than 2 months, fine, but I think 2 months is adequate. So, here's an example. How many hours kids are there? Let's say you're caring for kids 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., 12 hours a day. Not unusual. You work 5 days a week, 50 weeks a year, because you take a 2-week vacation to Hawaii. That's 3,000 hours a year. You're tracking the hours kids are not present, and your average is 10 hours a week, 50 weeks, 500 hours extra a year. 3,000 plus 500, 3,500 hours. There's a total of 8,760 hours in a year. So in this case, your time percent is 40%. Pretty common. There's no upper limit as to what it might be. You might be doing second shift care or overnight care or just longer hours, and that's fine. Record what you're actually working. You're entitled to all of these hours. So, that's what I wanted to say. Save receipts for everything. Keep a daily record of all the meals and snacks you're serving, particularly those that you're not getting reimbursed for by the food program. Track all the hours you work, particularly the hours that children are not present. For more information, I've written a book, Family Child Care Record Keeping Guide, where I've listed over 1,000 things that you can deduct. I just go into great detail, everything you could possibly deduct. also done a DVD, The Business of Family Childcare Record Keeping, where I go into much more detail about record keeping. Both of these resources are available through Red Leaf Press. If you have questions after this session, don't hesitate to send me an email, ask me a question. I don't charge anything for answering questions. Your question might be answered on my website, tomcopelandblog.com, where I've posted hundreds of articles on all aspects of record keeping. So good luck. Now, I'm not your tax preparer. I'm not providing professional advice now. If you need professional assistance for your tax return, you need to seek someone out. This video was funded by the Child Care Communications Management Center, which is funded by the Office of Child Care, the Administration for Children and Families, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and was developed in partnership with the National Center on Early Childhood Quality Assurance, which is funded by OCC, the Office of Head Start, ACF, and HHS. You can use this video and duplicate it for non-commercial uses. You can't sell it without any permission. So if you want to share this with someone else, please do. Thanks for listening.